Yes, this video is a re-upload. I just wanted to talk about a couple things that I missed in my other videos, so I'm going to talk about those here and then I'll just play the other video. So if you've already seen it, you don't really have to watch it, but you could if you want to. But there's a couple important things that I forgot to mention that I'll include in this video, so I'm just going to re-upload the whole thing in general. So take what I say here and then just add it onto the next part of the video. But basically, what I forgot to mention is if you're in a club that has max fixtures or certain fixtures in general, I don't really have a club that has this on at the moment, but if you go to the settings, the cogwheel and fixtures, you can actually scroll down over here and go to the font of knowledge. Now this one grants you XP. If you have a club that has this fixture, you'll see it in here if you just hover over this. I don't know what this will look like on console because I don't play on it, but it'll pretty much tell you that you're going to get bonus XP from this. I don't remember the exact percentage values, but you're going to be getting a lot of XP, especially on a Saturday and on XP week, which I kind of talk about in the video that you'll actually see that I uploaded previously. And if you're not sure if your club has this, you can ask someone in the club. And if you have your own club, you'll have to level it up, and that's a video of its own, going over all of this club stuff. So if you don't know how all that works, I can talk about that in a future Trove video. But just know that you need the font of knowledge, this thing over here, active for you to get the benefits, and obviously for your club to be paying the rent, so you get all of the benefits for all these fixtures that they have. And I talked about this in the video, but Saturday's best way to get XP because that's XP day, so you can make use of that, and Patron obviously gives you more. And all of this stacks upon each other, because if you go to the Grand Ori here, this fishing area, if we go to this part of the club, go over here, I talked about this in a different video as well, but I'll talk about it here as well because it's pretty important. So there's a couple of things you can get here that will get you some XP. Now, if you're brand new to the game, this might not apply to you because this might be a little bit challenging for you to complete. So if you're more like mid to end game, probably end game, you'll probably be working on this, or even mid game, you'll probably end up working on this. But basically, each section has like its own little thing. So up here, you got your physical damage, magic damage. Like your damage stuff is up here, like crit hit, attack speed, crit damage, like stuff like that is on this side. And then your utility is on this side, so like flasks, XP, lasermancy, maximum health, crafting speed, stuff like that, like miscellaneous things. And if we go over here, there's a little bubble here that gives you 5% extra XP. And just know that these are going to be permanent, so you're always going to have this. And I believe it was somewhere over here. There we go. So another 2.5% there, and we got another 2.5% there, and yeah, another 2.5% there. So you got some XP methods there. If you get to that bubble, you can activate it. You can get some permanent XP that way. And I talked about it in the video, but you want to use your XP potion. Make use of that. Make use of your Saturdays, and you'll be good to go. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about the XP coin because you get these in delves. And if you don't know, they give you a ton of XP if you're level 1. So you'll go from level 1 to 10 instantly. So it's really good to have. It's not something that you want to use if you're past level, I don't know, 25, for example. It's not going to give you that much. If you're somewhere around levels 1 to 20, you can use it in between there because it will give you a bunch of XP, a nice little boost. And the way you get this coin is just you get it randomly in delves. So if you're in a delve group or just by yourself farming, you'll get it randomly. You can use it on, one of your basic characters. Just know that trial characters only go to level 4, and that should be it for that. And apart from that, if anything else new comes up, I'll be sure to drop that in a future Trove video. And here's the rest of that XP video for you guys. Hey yo, what is going on guys? Cash and Clean here, and I wanted to talk about the best ways of getting XP in Trove. I've done videos like this in the past, but this is going to be an updated 2023 guide, so let's get in. Starting things off, just make sure you make use of your Saturdays and you have XP potions. You don't have to do this, and you don't have to have Patron, but they're added things that do help. So XP potions, obviously get more XP, doubles it for about an hour or so. And I'm pretty sure they made it so if you log off, then you'll end up keeping the same amount of time that you had previously. And then Saturdays, you get your XP bonus there. And then there is a weekly where you can have like either invaders or double starbar week. And then there's one for XP. So if you combine all of that, you'll be getting a ton more XP as well. Now there is a big way to get XP as of right now, which is the U10 ships. You can see gameplay of what's going on, but pretty much what happens is you get a group of people, and I'll go over other methods, so don't feel like you have to do this method, but this is just a really good method that I wanted to put out there. You can pretty much AFK and do this in a way, so you just kind of point and click as long as you can solo U10, and each person goes to a specific station because all of the bosses are going to be in that one area. So you have a person stationed around each area that you have to fight for the objectives. You have a person to obviously start the objective, and then you have someone to fight the boss. And if you're doing that with a pretty good group, you can get a ton of XP. Like you can level up from 30 to 31, or I say 30 to 31, but like Paragon levels, like that's the highest amount of XP you can get. You can level up instantly. So if you're like, I don't know, level 10 for example, I wouldn't really imagine that you can be in U10 at that level, but you technically could. You just have to swap characters whenever you can, and then you just won't get the loot, but you get the XP. Either way, what I'm trying to say though is you get a ton of XP, so you can fly from like level 10 to 20 within like, I don't know, 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. It's pretty insane actually. And yeah, the ship is good specifically because you're in range of like all the other objectives, so you're gonna get a ton of XP stacking up super fast. And I'm just gonna go through the other methods as well. If you have a pretty good group, you can also do Geode topside 5-star dungeons. And if you have like, I don't know, someone scouting locations, running with an alt, well, you guys like clear out a certain location and then move on to the next 5-star dungeon. That one's a little bit slower, but it is also doable. You get a ton of XP that way as well. But like I mentioned earlier, you do have to be in range of all the other objectives. Otherwise, you won't be getting as much XP. Next, I wanted to talk about the Geode quests. So there's a couple ways of doing this and a couple different quests that I want to talk about. So I just went over here, Geode Sanctuary. I'm on the bottom floor. There's these 3 critters over here. If you can't do these caves comfortably, then you don't have to do this. I'll show you a different method. But what I usually do is I do this one. I care for the cave critters. You can accept this 5 times per day. It gives you a ton of XP. Like, you can complete it 5 times, but you'll level up from 20 to like 23 like super quickly, depending on how fast you do these. But as you know, like after level 20 it does slow down quite a bit, so this is definitely a good help. Gives you a bunch of XP. This one might take you a while to do. This is like the best one. Like, I suggest caring for the cave critters. This is another option you can go with if you have the vacuum, of course. The other option is these 2 quests over here. So we have mining Geode topside ore, or you can do this one over here where you complete 5-star dungeons. Now keep in mind, the higher the Uber you are, the more XP you're gonna get. So like completing 5-star dungeons, if you do that at Uber 8, probably won't get as much XP as if you would in Uber 11. And just know that XP is capped, so if you're like at level, I don't know, 2, you won't be getting as much XP as if you were, I don't know, level 30 for example. Like the cap is a little bit different. And since this is also Geode, you can only complete this 5 times per day. But just know that if you do these, like one of these 5 times, then you can't do the other Geode ones 5 times. You have to pick and choose which one you want to do, and you can only go up to 5 per day. So if I did like 2 of those, 3 of those, I can't do the ones at the Geode Sanctuary, and then, you know, vice versa. If I did the ones there, you can't do the ones here. So hopefully that makes sense. And while we're on the topic of quests, I went over here over to the Kandorian world, Uber 2. So what you could do is pick up the quest here. These will give you XP as well, but you want to accept this. I'm not going to do it right now, but you want to accept it and then go to the highest Uber you can and complete it over there. And this one's pretty simple, just mine formosite. So even if you can't solo, I don't know, like U11 for example, all you have to do is just mine that specific ore, which you should be able to do, and you'll get more XP as you would if you did it in Uber 2 for example. And you want to do that pretty much for every place that has a quest. So don't forget the ones over in Skyworld, Drown World, and the Fire one as well. And just know that these aren't the same as the ones that you have in the clubs. The ones in the clubs are a little bit different. They only give you adventuring. They don't give you XP as far as I'm aware. At least last time I checked. I don't think they changed that anytime recently. But those ones are just adventuring. These also give you adventuring, but not as much. The club ones are more for adventuring. And apart from that, there's other little things you can do as well. So like, yeah, I don't know. Those are more solo missions. So if you like the solo missions and not the group missions, that one's good. If you're able to do delves and solo 115 plus, you could do that as well. So like if you have a portal specifically like this, I could just go ahead and change it. I can do 115. These are depth steppers. So I could do 115. I just pressed enter. I don't know what that would be on console, but then I can just go into 115 and do that. But basically you get the point. So 115, that's Uber 10 in delves. Sometimes it can be Uber 9, but once you complete the objective and go to the boss room, you'll get a bunch of XP that way. But if you're gonna do delves, just know that that one is better if you're doing Paragon levels. You still get a lot of XP, but you wouldn't get as much as if you were a higher level. So those ones are gonna be better off if you're, you know, doing Paragon levels, so going like past level 30, but there's still a pretty decent way to level up. And the last couple things I wanted to mention is if you can't really do anything that I mentioned in this video, then at least you can try this. If your levels 1 through 3, you can go over here. If you're somewhere around level 4 to 5, you can just go to your suggested class level and just do dungeons. That's pretty much all you could do if you can't do anything that I mentioned, and then just wait until you can solo it or just join whatever I just mentioned. But you can at least do the adventure quests if anything. And then the last thing I wanted to mention are those quests. So if you get event quests or like the beginning starting quest line stuff, you can just swap to a character that's like, I don't know, level 1 or just whatever character. Complete the quest, you'll get some XP, and there you go. So that's going to be my guide on how to get XP in 2023. Those are going to be the good ways. If anything else does come up, I will post a video about it. I will also plan on posting some Trove shorts for specifically this, like a super short video of like something you can do for XP, something you can do for Flux, and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for that. And on that note, thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.
Get me out.